Hey guys, just want to give a quick update on the clownfish since last night. So during the day, I noticed that the flow of the 300 gallon per hour on a 30 gallon system. This is technically 27, 28-ish. We just call it 30. So it has like a 10x turnover, and the clownfish were not liking that at all. So what happened was that this bar going across the top. Oh, hang on, let me. Okay, the first thing is, as you can see, the tank is dark at the moment, and I've learned this from just like my own freshwater experience, but from also from Aaron's aquarium. He's I wouldn't say the highest, but he's a pretty popular saltwater aquarist. He also now has started a saltwater fish shop in the UK. I find him pretty entertaining, and I think his content is pretty damn good. But one of the things that he suggested, and maybe that you could do too, is when you first put your fish in, and then you put your turbo start or your bacteria start, whatever your fritz, whatever you want to use in there, he suggested to turn off the lights for 2 weeks, no, 1.5, 2 weeks. Um, this is so that the algae that comes with the lights does not compete with the beneficial bacteria to start the nitrogen cycle. Um, so I'm going to do that because I really don't. So on a really big, so this is 29 gallons. It's not that big, but I had a 40 gallon before with discus, and it was just such a pain to battle algae in a big tank like that. It's a pain. So to avoid that, like obviously I don't even have all the fish in at the moment. So to avoid that, he suggested basically just turning off the lights for 1.5 weeks, 2 weeks. So that's what I'm doing. And the added benefit of doing that is that it actually calms the fish a lot more because they're coming into a new environment. They've just been placed in a new environment, and they're gonna definitely be stressed. But the thing that I wanted really to talk about is the flow. So let me turn the lights on real quick and try to explain this a little bit better and to explain what I did. I'm this is kind of maybe this is kind of obvious for a lot of people, but maybe for some beginners it's not that obvious. So this is a 300 gallon per hour against a 10x flow, and there's no setting here to control the flow. So basically, you're just going 10x all the time. And I've noticed that the clownfish, maybe it's just because they're new to the tank, they were not liking that flow at all. 10x for a reef aquarium is like normal, I believe. I've seen values as high as 30x or something like that once you get the pumps in there. So I thought that this would be okay for the fish, but they really did not like it. So what happened was that they went in the corner there. So let me turn on the lights real quick and I'll explain what I did. Alright, sorry, 1 second. Technical difficulties. Plugging in the wrong things. There, I think I have it now. Okay, this is it. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulty. I was plugging in the plump instead of the light. So now I have the light on. So explain. So this is the spray bar across right there. As you can see, I put two foam pads. They're blocking about maybe 66% of the outlets. So now there's only one outlet. I had a foam pad all the way across blocking all of it, but that was a little bit too much, and there was literally nothing coming out of it. So now I have two of those there, and one of the things is attached by zip ties. So it's pretty loose on the zip tie, so what can happen is you can just kind of swivel them out of the way. So in case you need more flow, you can kind of just swivel them out of the way. So this is kind of what I'm doing. Um, Basically just, so there is still flow, as you can see, from to there. So there is still some flow. And so what would happen before with the clowns is that they will always just be in that corner when most of the flow was happening. Okay, I need to reattach that heater a little bit better. When all the flow was happening. So no, that's not good. So I'm just doing this for now. And maybe once they get acclimated a little bit better in the tank, I can actually, you know, allow for all that flow. But once I turn off the flow, they go back to the rest of the tank. They're not just stuck in that corner or on the bottom there. And they did eat this morning, so that's a good sign. Again, these are really hardy fish, probably the most hardy of the saltwater fish. So that's the update. Just change the flow a little bit, and I think the tank is doing okay. The next thing is basically I'm gonna get some Bangai cardinals, really nice ones. They just got in from Petco, so 3 of them this weekend to complement these guys. And then I gotta figure out what I want to get. I'll probably get the typical saltwater entry level, like a goby, a firefish, a dotty back, you know. But I kind of really want a centerpiece fish. And originally I was gonna use like a pufferfish, but obviously the pufferfish, the one that I want, is too big for this tank. And they're also semi-aggressive, and they also eat corals, which is I also want this tank. So that's probably not a no-go. So now I'm really just kind of looking for a beginner, peaceful temperament, smaller fish for a centerpiece fish. And usually a centerpiece fish is the biggest fish, or the most, at least same size as the other one, and very colorful, very unique. So I'm gonna look for that. Definitely gonna put that into consideration for the stocking. I'm probably gonna get around 10 fish in here in total. Um, Obviously it'll take some time to do it, but because you want to be responsible and not get all the fish at the same time. But anyway, I'm gonna turn off the lights now again, and yeah, so that's the update. Looks like everything's doing well. These heaters from eBay are just have the worst suctions like possible. So I definitely need to figure that out. Or yeah, what I'm gonna do is probably gonna clip the wire at the very top so it applies pressure down on the heater. Because those suctions are basically useless. They're like the worst suctions. This heater is really cheap too. It's not cheap, it's reasonable. Obviously this is a budget build. I'm not getting like the best heaters, and I'll bring up a price list for everything. But I think so far without the fish, it's about $300. So for a 29-gallon. So that's not too bad. These are beginner lights. Maybe let's see. Maybe not 300. Maybe 250. Maybe 250. Closer to 250. Including the rocks and the aquascape and the sand. 250. Not including the fish. Because obviously the fish, price of the fish, it depends on where you are at. Um, you know, what you actually want to stock. These clowns were $15 each from Petco. So anyway, so that's the update. Talk to you guys later.